Okay, good start. All right. Good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever the heck you're listening to this. Welcome back to Nerder Now. My name is Evan still, and with me is my good friend.
My name has not changed either. This is Nathaniel, coming to you from a room somewhere.
Somewhere. Some people know where it is, but others don't. But yeah, so welcome back. How have you been, Nathaniel? I feel like we've gone a while without actually checking in on one another. We've just been going straight into stuff. So how are you doing, sir?
Well, thanks for asking. I'm actually doing pretty well. Work is going well. That's about it.
Good story. Good talk. Good talk. You were looking around trying to find something to say.
I was just trying to think about how my life was going, and
your eyes were darting back and forth that's not worth talking about.
Just scrapping my brain just for
I shoved that memory into the back of my subconscious.
I'm just suppressing everything that's going on in my life because it's just so horrible that I don't want to think about. No, I'm actually doing great. How are you doing, Evan?
I'm doing excellent. I'm actually flying out to Germany this week.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Actual Germany?
Actual Germany, yes.
The country?
The actual country, continent, yes.
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
I hope you have a great time.
Yeah, I will.
You're not leaving right now, so we can finish this podcast.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say, when, because then that'll date when we recorded this, and we don't want to break the continuity of the show.
Right.
However, I was gonna say, we had some guests on before, and we're gonna try to have them on so that we'll get at least one or two more episodes out while I'm gone.
Right. We're actually, let's just say, recording this a little bit early because you're gonna be MIA.
Yeah, I'm gonna be MIA for a little bit, so we'll still try to get some episodes out to you guys, but I will not be a part of them.
Sad face.
I know
you cannot see it through the audio because obviously you can't. So let's start off the second part of our podcast with some news.
Absolutely.
What is coming to us in the world of entertainment?
Well, I know for a fact that, I watched the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer drop today.
I saw that it's out, but I haven't seen it yet. How is the trailer?
It does a really good job of not giving too much of the story away. It's just hyping you up for this new character that they're introducing, which is the Wasp,
right?
Which they teased at the end of the first Ant-Man trailer. This movie is
Ant-Man trailer, or Ant-Man movie.
Ant-Man movie. Sorry,
gotcha.
Ant-Man movie, and this movie is set to be released July 6th, and it's basically following the events after Civil War, basically.
Okay, I saw a little bit of that where it kind of showed a flashback in black and white or something.
Yeah. So the trailer, the first half of the trailer is basically recapping you on Ant-Man's journey so far, and it doesn't give you it doesn't tease you a whole lot about what the story is for this movie. It's very much just a teaser trailer and just telling you that, hey, this new movie's coming out with Ant-Man and the Wasp, and the Wasp is being introduced.
So this comes out after the Avengers.
Yes.
So is Ant-Man going to be in the Avengers?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, that's kind of interesting that they chose to do that.
Yeah.
So does it take
I don't know.
I
don't know exactly if it's in the same, if it's right after the events of Infinity War. I'm not sure. That's left to be seen. I don't know if it's going to be something beforehand or because Captain Marvel is being set to be released, I think either this year or the year after that.
I want to say it's next year.
Next year.
I think they're shooting.
Yeah, they're shooting it, and that one is being the lead role is played by Brie Larson.
Yes.
And that movie, timeline wise, is set in the 90s. So I don't know. So that one's not going to be taking place after Infinity War. That's actually taking way before.
Interesting.
So I don't know what they're doing with Ant-Man, if this is going to be before or after, but because they didn't really reveal anything about the story, so we don't know.
Got it. So for any of you who actually play Battlefront 2, Star Wars, I actually do have the game. I've played it a little bit. It got a lot of kickback because of microtransactions, which they took out before the game launched, but it seems like they might, of course, bring them back.
Well, because EA doesn't make enough money.
Because the game underperformed. Because, of course, with all that controversy and their stupid business practices, it's not going to do well. Anyway, there is new content coming.
Oh, no, people aren't buying our game because they're worried that they're going to have to pay more money than they actually have to.
Make them pay more money so they'll buy our game. Anyway, the game is actually great. It's a really fun game. It's too bad EA is the one who's running it, but there's a new content coming in the next few months, so...
I wish it was by a company who actually cared a little bit more about the product.
Yeah, but...
Because, I mean, they do a good job of making it look graphically great.
The thing is
I don't know.
DICE, the developer, they do a great job. EA is like the publisher, so they're like, money.
Yeah.
Give me that money, and they don't care as much about the game.
That's what I mean. They need a publisher that cares more about the product, which
exactly, yeah.
is a little unfortunate.
And then our last piece of news is that this Friday, Altered Carbon it's like a sci-fi adventure, just like TV series on Netflix. It's an original. I believe it's based off of a novel, and it looks incredible. It looks like Blade Runner the series, basically.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never heard of Altered Carbon
because I know, like, a lot of people have not heard of it. It seems like Netflix is not doing the best job of promoting it. They are, but they are promoting it, but it's not like hitting at the loudness they want it to.
That's interesting.
But it looks like it could be this year's hit in terms of quality, at least.
Would you say it might have the same effect or the same the same weight that Stranger Things had when Netflix released it?
I think it has the potential to do that, but it might totally bomb. I don't know.
Okay.
Just not because it's not good. I think it's just because people don't know about it.
Right. Well, I mean, people didn't know about Stranger Things. To be perfectly honest.
That is true. I guess I don't think about that because I saw the first trailer for Stranger Things before it was a big thing, and I was just like, I'm watching this, and I was one of the first people, I think, or I watched it early before it was like a huge thing, so I didn't take that.
Oh, hipster Nathaniel over here. I watched it. I watched it. I watched it before it was mainstream. And takes a sip of your tea.
Why would I sip tea? It's more like, what's nerdy drink? Just something just like pretentious. It's just, I'm drinking the blood of my enemies. No, that's horrible.
Whoa,
that's more sacrificial.
That's like
demonic.
That's cult.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. So.
Anyway, you saw it.
I saw a trailer. It comes out. The whole series is out February 2nd. I'm gonna watch it I'm gonna try to watch it in one day, like on Saturday.
Wow.
So that's my plan.
Do you know how many episodes?
I think it's 10.
It's 10. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, what have you been entertaining yourself with?
Well, I was gonna say both of us have been entertaining ourselves with the new Dragon Ball game that came out. You got it like shortly after.
I got it, I think, a day or two after it launched.
Yeah, I think you got a day after because I remember you like texting me about it afterward, on Saturday, and so the day after I had some of my friends over and we were all playing it, and I have friends who a mixture of them, like, I have friends that grew up Super Dragon Ball.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you here, but that is our main topic. Just so you guys know, audience, I don't know what we call you guys, but we're both playing Dragon Ball Z. We will talk more about it in the main topic. Yeah. I know Evan is very eager to talk about this topic.
Anyway, so we've both been entertaining ourselves with that. Myself personally, watching, like, feeding stuff into my eye holes. It's more, I've been watching Attack on Titan. The second season more specifically because I've watched the first season already, but
we had to wait 4 years for the second season.
Yeah, I know,
which is ridiculous.
But I will say, like, without going into a super full review on it, it's stunning. It's like animated beautifully, and the story does a really good job of like advancing the plot, but not giving you all the answers right away, and like you still want to know more. Like I'm still waiting with anticipation for this next season to come out because it's left me with more questions. Like I had some answered, but not nearly enough. And like it opens up a whole new door for things that they can do. And I know the manga is way further ahead than the anime.
Right, and it's based off of that, so they already have mostly set in stone what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but
I'm avoiding like spoiling myself and reading the whole manga.
I'm doing the same. I also just recently finished season 2. I agree with everything you said, and there's just like a lot of content that they, like you said, like with the manga, there's a lot out there. So I just think the experience in general, the anime as opposed to reading it, is just so much better. There's just it's so much more dynamic that I would rather wait for the anime than read it.
because it's like the still images, the detail that goes into the manga and all the drawing and the art, and it's great. And I don't want to.
I'm actually gonna disagree with that. It's pretty bad. The art is not good.
I mean, I don't. I don't want to take anything away from the hard work that those people put in for for this story. Like, I don't want to take anything away from that. Like,
right.
But I will agree with you. Just like the anime is more dynamic, it's more vibrant, and it's just, I don't know. For me, it's just more entertaining.
Yeah, I agree.
Watching this story unfold that way.
It's just, it's definitely more dynamic, more engaging. It's just, I think for the particular story, it just works really well.
Yeah, it works better for the story that they're trying to tell. I agree. So, what else have you been entertaining yourself with?
So I mean, more Overwatch, but I don't really need to go into that. I actually saw The Last Jedi again.
Again?
Yeah, finally again. So I had a friend who hadn't seen it, and they wanted to see it.
So you've seen it now twice?
Yes.
Okay.
And so second time
it's almost like that's a prerequisite. Like, I finally saw it again. Finally.
Which is where I was supposed to be at. Just seeing it twice. So I could say that.
Yeah. Exactly. No, because...
Yeah, so I saw it a second time. I actually enjoyed it probably twice as much the second time around.
Really?
Yeah.
You were able to appreciate it more?
I'm such a huge fan of that movie. Even more now.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt. I mean, I definitely saw again, like, the flaws that I saw in them. Like, I saw, like, they were still there. They didn't go away. But I was able to appreciate more, like, the good things that they did, seeing it again, and I was still blown away by a lot of, like, the amazing shots and just the things they did with the story. I was still blown away by it.
Right. I just was totally in love with the film. Like, actually, the flaws that I had, the complaints that I had, they mostly resolved themselves from talking to other people before I watched it again, and I kind of saw what other people thought about certain points.
Right.
That some people saw as negative, and it was just, it was interesting to rewatch it and kind of see that kind of perspective as to how it actually worked.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But yeah, it's a great film, flaws and all. But yeah.
So we're gonna have a smooth transition to our next.
I mean, we could have a really bumpy transition where we're just like have that. I mean, like,
anyway. So, main topic. You're gonna edit all that out, right? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So, our main topic today.
Main topic? What is our main topic?
You touched on it earlier. Just the game that we both been playing. That's last week. Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Dragon Ball FighterZ.
It came out January 26th. And first of all, just so we're all on this even playing field here, what is Dragon Ball? Some people might ask, because some people aren't in the know, which is fine.
Right.
It's unfortunate, but it's fine.
Everyone has different interests, and not everyone has like the time to deep dive into Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, I saw a lot of it when I was younger.
Right.
But I didn't consistently watch the whole thing through just because I didn't have access. So I'm more of I would say like a medium fan.
You're more of like a casual fan?
A little, I would say, yeah, probably.
That's probably a more fair analysis.
Categorization of my just like fan status. But I would definitely consider myself a fan.
Yeah, I could probably take myself like a level above that and just kind of I had the toys growing up. I buy shirts. I have a lot of I'm a really big fan of the series and the characters, and basically Dragon Ball as a franchise goes back to
it's like 30 years now.
Yeah, back to about the 90s.
Yeah,
is when it started, and it first started out as just Dragon Ball, and it follows this. The main character that it follows is Goku, which is this. He starts out as a kid. He's this alien from outer space, kind of like Superman a little bit, but he has a monkey tail, and
he's very innocent like and just like very.
But he loves martial arts, and he loves to fight, and that's the thing that drives him like through life, and he just wants to become the best ever.
I think we left out a very important part. This is a Japanese series, by the way.
That's very true.
Yes.
That's very true. This is a Japanese series, yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Just all the randomness and just
And,
craziness that
yeah.
comes with that.
Yeah, and in this universe, on this planet Earth that we live on, that they live on, there's these things called Dragon Balls. Wow, surprise, surprise, is the name of the show.
Title drop.
Yeah, exactly. Roll credits. And now, there are these 7 magical orbs that you with different numbered stars on them. So it's like 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, all the way to 7. You get it. You gather them all together, and then a big giant dragon comes out and he grants you a wish.
So it's like a big old genie dragon. Basically.
Yeah, kind of. He has rules, and you can't wish for this, that, whatever.
Right.
Now take that, and then now into the next stage in Goku's life in Dragon Ball Z, you see him like with a family, and then you see him like
eating a lot of food.
That's also a really big character trait of his. He loves to eat food.
And he also abandons his family all the time. He's just like because training.
Father of the Year award, right? Okay, well no, so we learn more about Goku's alien race, which is the Saiyans, and you learn more about then you meet like another Saiyan, Vegeta, who is like the prince of this alien race, and then you start to learn more about those characters moving forward, and then you get to the end of Z, and they've battled many enemies, and they've saved the world multiple times. Then now you get to Dragon Ball Super, which is I think about like a 15-year later after.
And this is
Dragon Ball Z
currently
ends.
running.
It's currently running, and it's set to actually end in March.
Really? Like
yes.
the whole series?
The whole Dragon Ball Super is set to end with episode 131 in March.
Wow.
It is set to end, and we are on 125 currently.
It's been going for about, what, 2 years?
About 2-3 years, yeah. So it's been going on for a while.
So there's like a lot of fighting. It's a fighting anime.
Yeah, this is shonen jump fighting anime.
Yeah, it's a shonen, and there's just like a lot of supernatural stuff, like large scale, like universal explosions, and just like all this.
Basically, a lot of the main characters in this show could destroy a planet.
Basically,
they all could,
and they could be thrown into a planet and destroy the planet and survive. So
right. So this game has a lot of history behind it, and it has a lot of fan power behind it. It's been running for just the franchise has been making content for over 30 years.
Right.
And it's
been consistently successful. Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super have all had their high points and their low points. Super, I feel like, has been people have been the most critical over it, just because I think people have been waiting 15 years for Dragon Ball franchise to come back, and like the first couple episodes that came out, the animation quality was very low, and a lot of people were up in arms about that. But it got better after that, and they were in a rush, and they were short-staffed at the time. It was a whole thing, and it has a manga attached to it. That's
they're like writing it after they make the show.
Yeah,
right.
Or I think actually, well, right now the anime I think is ahead of the manga now.
Right, because the anime is a priority.
Yeah. So that's the whole that's like a brief summary without going into too much detail about Dragon Ball as a franchise.
Also, they have yellow and blue and pink hair because
anime.
But it's just very dynamic and very explosive and very incredibly popular.
Yeah. So
it's a classic.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, going more specifically into this game's storyline, we follow the same characters. We have like Goku, Vegeta, then there's this other like green alien dude named Piccolo. Then you have Goku's son, Gohan. You have Krillin.
You have Android 18, who's my favorite.
Android 18, she's awesome. Android 16's in this game. Mm-hmm. Have you played much of the story?
I've played some of the story. It's a little bit of a recap of what some of it is about. Basically, you are in Goku's body, and you kind of wake up, and you have this link between characters. I think they kind of try to explain the story through the mechanics of the game.
No, they do, and I think that's actually that was a really smart and clever way of doing it, of like incorporating you yourself, the player, into the game, into the story, without like making it like a created character, or you are Goku going through all this stuff.
Right.
And they actually made it a way to incorporate like the game's mechanics, like you said, into the story, which make in a way that makes sense. Like linking is the only way that you can fight, and one soul can only be linked to one person at a time.
Right, and since it's like a tag team fighter,
Yeah.
and you have 1 versus 1 on each side. There's 3 on each side, but only 1 fighting at a time on each side. So
Right.
they kind of explain that through the story. I think it kind of works, but I'm not the biggest fan of the whole like explanation through game mechanics. But I think it does enough with the characters to where it's enjoyable.
As someone who's finished the story,
Yes.
the beginning, especially with that first playthrough with the hero story arc or whatever, there's a lot of tutorial.
Yeah.
Once you get through that, and once you move on to like the second and the third stage of the story,
Right, because I'm on like chapter, I want to say 7.
yeah, I think you got about like 2 or 3 more left in that particular storyline, I think.
Got it. Okay. In that arc.
There is a significant difficulty spike.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely. Man. Because
Well, I will look forward to that.
without spoiling too much for you, you play as the heroes, and then there's a second storyline where you play as the villains,
Ooh.
and then there's a third storyline where you play as the androids.
Now I'm excited.
Right. Yeah, and when you get to the android playthrough, that's when you really feel the difficulty spike.
Got it.
Personally, yeah, that's where I felt it.
They do that a lot in fighting games.
Yeah. So I know, like, if like an early game, the tutorial seems kind of hand-holdy, but it'd be good to pay attention to those.
Yes, I've been making sure to pay attention to those.
Yeah,
and get
you'll
it right.
need them. So,
but yeah, it's just the foundation for the story being the whole like game mechanic thing. Yeah. It works, but I kind of wish they went somewhere else with it. But I look forward to seeing like where the game goes.
I can appreciate what they like how they did it when it comes to just the way they incorporated you into the story without you having to create a different character or whatever.
Right.
And
it
was different. It was different.
What people always do, and I've gotten tired of it. So it is fresh.
So I appreciate that. Even though, yeah, it is kind of like tutorial handholdy in the beginning, it's still, for me, it works.
Yeah.
Anyway, so going more into the actual story. So basically, these mysterious radio waves have been like emitted like worldwide, and it's keeping all of these like superpowered warriors, like Goku and all of his friends and all that stuff. It's keeping their energies.
It makes them into weak little baby men.
Yeah, it suppresses their energy so they can't fight. And the only way that they can fight is having like an additional artificial soul like attached to them, which like unlocks their power. And this whole thing is called linking, and they hammer that in to where it's like, okay, so linking is the only way you can fight, and that's how they explain the 3v3 matches and how only one fighter can fight at a time. And all that stuff. They explain that and they hammer that home.
And you're sort of fighting like a lot of clones that have kind of been
Yes.
brought to go against you, which is just, I think, a really clever way of having
practice dummies,
but also having like a lot of people to fight without it being like nonsensical.
Without it being just like
you're fighting Goku 15 times. No.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a clone, or it's like a Krillin clone, or it's just like
so. And all of like basically almost all of the playable characters in this game have been cloned,
right?
Except Gotenks, I don't think was cloned, and I don't think Teen Gohan wasn't cloned.
Right. And the story ultimately revolves around Android 21, correct?
Yes, Android 21 is this new character that was designed and created specifically by. Or she was designed by Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, the franchise in general. He created all these characters. He started all of this, and he created this character specifically for this game's storyline. She is a very conflicted character, as you Nathaniel will come to find as you play through it more. You get like 3 sides of her story as you play through these different storylines.
That's really cool.
And the one thing that I think I kind of complained about, or I was a little bummed out about, is that the 3 storylines aren't necessarily all congruent with one another.
Oh, is it like told from a different perspective? Maybe
is
that what it is? Or is it just not told well?
It starts out that way, and you're like, oh, so you're getting like the 3 different perspectives. And there's some points where they kind of like come together.
Okay.
But there are other parts where it's like, I remember it happening a different way on this side. Why is this happening? Why are all these people here? That doesn't make sense. So
it just kind of like portrays it differently without like really
Yeah.
saying that it's like a different point of view, maybe.
yeah, what I think it's trying to it's trying to tell basically the same story, but if it happened 3 different ways.
Okay.
After looking at it prospectively, that's probably what it was. But at first, I thought it was, oh, I'm getting it from Goku's side. Now I'm getting it from this guy's side. Now I'm getting it from her side.
Got it.
But I don't think that was the case. I think it's just you getting these 3 different stories on the same event that's happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
They're just like variations.
yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, 21 is an android who she's similar to Cell in a way that she has to, like, consume other people to gain power, but the way she does it is very strange.
Yes.
Have you seen the?
I believe there's candy involved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even though
that's just-
even though she doesn't like turn them into candy, she turns them into like baked sweets, like donuts and stuff. Which
Yes.
I don't understand why that's candy. It's probably a translation issue, which I understand. That's fine. But yeah, so basically her true form is this like Majin Buu android character. Like that's her true form. And I was a little thrown off by it at first, and I was a little like
Kind of like the transition from like her standard appearance to that.
yeah, and I was at first I didn't like it because I thought that doesn't make sense. Why is she this Majin Buu character?
But then you realize it's Japan. They don't care. No.
But then I started thinking about it more. It's like, well, okay, well they created Cell, you know, to be this perfect like android being. Maybe they saw Majin Buu and were like, you know, we should make something like that, make an android like that. That would be even better. So
they kind of like took him as their template.
yeah, kind of. So the idea behind it is fine. I don't have an issue with it. I was playing this through this story mode with some friends of mine, David, who we've had on before, a friend of mine named Ben, and then Douglas. Douglas loves Android 21, by the way, and it was starting to get creepy.
That was like almost like creeper stalker wife status.
It wasn't like that. It was that.
Okay,
it was, yeah. Every time she was on the screen, he stopped whatever he was doing and went, "Hey, baby." I'm like,
Hey man,
dude.
if you're listening, you need to calm down. We will hopefully not have to have an intervention, but can I be your best man for this wedding? And just like I know some people.
It's weird. Just get a cardboard cutout version.
He'll be so in love with it he won't even notice it's not her.
No, I'm worried that he'll be so in love with it. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried he'll be too in love with it. Anyway,
She has a great design though.
she does. No, she does. So going into more of like the game highlights and what we really enjoyed about the game, I personally love how smooth the mechanics are and just how like you don't exactly have to know all the ins and outs to how the game works.
Right.
You can just kind of pick up a controller and just start pushing buttons, and you'll figure it out.
So it's kind of like Street Fighter in that it's a 2D or 2.5D
2.5,
fighter,
yeah.
where it looks 3D but it's on a 2D plane.
Yeah.
And you basically go back and forth and fight until you knock out HP
Yeah.
for all 3 characters
Yes.
on one side.
Absolutely. And what I've loved is like there's a lot of attention to detail. Like I don't know if you noticed. There's a function called Dragon Rush where it's like a homing attack, and if the opposing character is like shooting power blasts at you or key blasts while you're in that mode, they get knocked aside,
Right,
and
you
you see them fly off into the distance and blow up something in the background.
And
They leave craters that stay there. I don't know if you noticed
That's
that.
impressive. I did
Yeah,
not
I know.
notice that.
It's just the little attention to detail. It's like shows that this was a love project. They put a lot of time and effort into this, and also a lot of the moves and like the super and the ultimate moves that these characters use are ripped straight from the anime and from the manga. There's
a lot of side by side comparisons online
yeah.
where it's just like they show it side by side and it just is almost exactly the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It looks
But
amazing.
it looks like great. It doesn't look like a copy. It looks unique enough where it just looks
It looks like its
great.
own thing, but
Right.
you can tell where they got the source material
exactly.
from.
And it's just great for fans who I've been following the series for a while and like know it really well. They'll be able to pick out what scenes.
Oh yeah, and what's great is that they have some characters who have like unique interactions with one another. So if you have, let's say, you have Team Gohan going up against Perfect Cell at the Cell games, you'll get like an opening cutscene with Cell crushing Android 16's head and Gohan turning like and getting upset and turning into Super Saiyan 2 for the first time. You'll get that. And
that's really nice.
Yeah, and if you finish him,
I mean, not the crushing of the head.
No, that's terrible. But the
it's a robot. Nobody.
And then
cares.
you get the Android.
Then you get the Android. It does matter.
You get the and then there's also like ultimate finishing moves like specific that have like that you unlock when you have like two players fighting against each other. So this one character, he's kind of like an evil version of Goku. Goku Black is in the game. You have Beerus, who is this like deity character.
He's a god.
Yeah, he's a god.
Kami-sama.
Yeah, god of destruction. Hokai. But he has this move where he uses like the Hakai basically and like blasts the opponent away. Mm-hmm. But if you use it to defeat Goku Black, he actually like disintegrates, and he's the only character that disintegrates. Everyone else gets blasted off the map. It's specific towards him, which I love that because this is what I mean with attention to detail. They threw in those little Easter eggs for like fans who like you said, who have been keeping up with the show up until now, mm-hmm. and they know all these interactions and it's amazing. I love it.
So kind of like going back to that just creepy stalker wife thing. Basically, the developers are like this with Dragon Ball Z, is what you're saying. But it's obvious that the developers really know the material and they care about it.
Oh no, yeah.
They go beyond what they have to make just a great game. They push that and just it shows.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's fantastic, and it's so flashy, and like you said, it's really fluid. It's
and
really easy to pick up and play.
What I was worried about was that the like some of the screenshots I saw with like the 3v3 battles and just like with everything that was going on, I was worried that like it was going to be too much, it was going to be overwhelming, and that like you wouldn't really know what was going on. But that's really not the case. That really wasn't the case. It's like it's just enough going on to like be entertaining and be dynamic, but it's not too much going on where you're lost in where you are and what you're doing, and the end goal is still the same, and you can still see like where you are in the situation, all that stuff. And
it's not just like a bunch of explosions and that's all it is. There's like enough just like hand-to-hand combat and like the colors and everything are fine. Just don't, if you play against someone and they're the same character and the same color, you might have a tiny bit of an issue.
Maybe.
I've been there and you get a little bit confused, but that's like for any fighting game where you look the same as the other character. But yeah, it does a great job of not being overwhelming and not being underwhelming.
Can we talk about the lobby real quick?
The chibi lobby?
The chibi lobby? Oh, that's awesme, right? I love that so much.
Great. So when I first played the beta, I dropped into that, and I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't know that was part of the game, and I got dropped in, and I was like, "This is amazing." Do
you want to explain what the chibi lobby is?
So basically, it has, I believe it's around 64 players online who drop into this lobby, and it's like the main hub world for choosing the mode you want to play. Mm-hmm. It's if you want to play arcade mode or the story mode or
our arcade mode has like this gauntlet mode where it's like you. Based on how you fight, you go up in difficulty.
Right. And there's like different paths you can go on.
and the ultimate goal is to stay on like the highest difficulty to get like the most reward. Which, like, of course, when you stay on the highest difficulty and you keep going, it just keeps getting harder and harder exponentially.
Right. But there's more reward.
Yeah, but there's more reward. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's fine. That is a mode that is definitely a lot of fun. I tried it out, and you unlock like harder difficulties also, and then you get to try those out.
Yeah.
And so there's that. There's like world matches or like arena fights and just like different types of online modes where you fight against other players.
There's like the local mode where you
the two of us could fight each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Like on the same console.
Yeah, on the same console, right. Then there's also a tournament mode where you can have up to 16 players in the tournament.
And you just kind of like fight kind of like in a bracket system, right?
Yeah.
All the way up to
the absolutely. Winner. Yeah. It's crazy because in almost every mode in this hub world, you gain Zenny, which is the Dragon Ball universe or the Dragon Ball Planet Earth's
Money.
like currency, money. And this game's version of loot boxes are the pods, and they
You get like character colors, like little avatars or little chibi avatars to walk around in the lobby.
yeah, and you get like different versions of those characters. Then you have like stuff for your like your player card and stuff like that. Well, it's great because it's like they didn't just give you all of the unlockable or like they didn't give you all the skins for the characters like right off the bat. Like you could go and like unlock like a bunch of different skins and colors for your characters, and you can customize them. And then there's like tournaments too. So then you can then you can go online and you can set up your default teams and stuff, and you can set up like
Pick your characters and their colors beforehand. And how
yeah,
you
exactly.
go
So
into
then
the
when you
fight.
go into online match, you can just go, all right, I want to go to preset 4 and then use that team. And I was gonna say like I'm gonna keep saying this, but just from what I've seen, it's so true. It's like the developers of this game put so much love and time and effort into this game. I'm so pleased with it. This is such an act of love. Like it's so good.
And I've played some of the other games that they've made, like Blaze Blue and stuff, or BlazBlue. I forget how you pronounce it, but games like that, and those are really good. So they have like a really solid developer history of making fantastic fighting games. So they picked a developer that they knew would do a great job. And they did a great job. They knocked it out of the galaxy into another galaxy and then blew it up. But it survived, and it was just like there's this beautiful diamond that's there.
I was gonna say the music and the sound effects to it were also really good.
Goku is just as annoying in this as he is in the Japanese one.
Yeah, Sean Schimmel he's a national treasure. How dare you?
I'm talking about the Japanese one.
The Japanese version, yeah. I mean,
Yes,
well, that's
he's
one.
very-
Okay, well, yeah. But so it's great because it's like they have they have like the original cast who played like the English and the Japanese dub.
So you can
Obviously, you can pick different what dub you play it in. I think they have Japanese, English, I think French, and
I've
Spanish.
only seen Japanese and English. I went to the menu and tried it out, and there was Japanese and English.
I remember seeing like two other language options. I think it was like Spanish and something else.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, but the music is really good too.
The music is fantastic.
It's not to the point where it's overwhelming and obnoxious. It's just to the point where it's enough ambient sound in the background to kind of just fill everything out.
And I think like the more dynamic music is during menus and loading screens and stuff, and it really works. The title screen, anything like that. But once it gets to the actual match, it helps enhance the match rather than drown it out, like you're saying.
Yeah,
the songs that it does play during menus and stuff are fantastic, and I jam out to them all the time.
Yeah, it's not like annoying at all. So at a scale of 1 to 10.
Or how about 1 to 9,000?
1 to 9,000. Okay, on a scale from 1 to 9,000.
Oh man, that's like a really big scale.
What?
Can we go over 9,000 and go to 10,000? That's the oldest joke of the internet.
I rolled my eyes when I rolled my eyes when he said 9,000. Like he's gonna make a 9,000.
No, yeah, I mean you kind of have to, but I've definitely.
It's a prerequisite if you're reviewing a
Last
Dragon Ball
night
product.
I had like a premonition type of dream where I rolled my eyes like back into my skull over 9,000 times, and I'm just like I hate myself right now. Just so you know, not because of you. I just. Anyway, out of 10,000, which is basically a 10-point scale.
Yeah. So basically, how many thousands out of 10,000 would you give it?
Oh man, dude. Wow. 9 out of 10,000. No. So basically, I would let's say 9.5 out of 10. I think it's fantastic.
9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I would give it about a 9 out of 10 as well. Just about the same place because IGN gave it like an 8.5 out of 10. Because it had, most of its complaints were basically in the story mode and just kind of, and I get it, just kind of like you have to fight a lot of clones and it's a lot of grunt work and it's a lot of grinding as well, just to gain levels and stuff like that. But
yeah, I think the tutorial, like the fact that they have a separate tutorial mode where it teaches you, and then they kind of force you to do it at the beginning of the story mode.
Well,
it's like a little bit frustrating, but to me it isn't.
Okay. Well, the tutorial mode in the beginning, you don't have to do that to complete the match. those are just optional.
Right.
Those
But
are
it's
just those
still-
are just
it's
optional.
still, like,
but it's
on
still,
the screen.
it still shows up, and then the clones or your enemies won't fight you, because you're trying to do a tutorial. So it
you
seems
just
really, it seems like really easy at first, and you're pinning them up against the wall, and you're like, man, these guys aren't doing anything. Yeah, like this is so easy. And then after you get to the tutorial, I'm like, oh, they start fighting back a little bit. Oh, this is actually getting a lot harder. Oh, wow, okay, they weren't.
Oh, I actually have to like try now.
Oh.
I can't just press X.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. I can't just hit triangle over and over and over again and win. I was gonna say I'd give it a 9. You give it a 9.5. It's a solid game, even if you're not like a big Dragon Ball fan. If you're more of like a casual fan, you will still enjoy this game, and you'll still have a lot of fun with the story, just fighting against your friends, fighting online if that's your thing. And
I played a few online matches. The first online match, I destroyed my enemy. It was just like, what is happening? I didn't. And then the 2 matches after, I got dominated. It was embarrassing.
And the thing is, though, it's awesome because it's like it's not at the point where one of your friends will just learn how to do it and then just dominate you for your entire life. It's a lot of give and take. Like it also depends on like the characters and getting a feel for like what each character can do and what their combos are. And
you'll find which characters that you click with, and there's even points where there's characters that you like just as a fan, and you might not click with them.
Yeah,
you might have to really try to be able to play these characters because there's some you just naturally are able to play.
I mean, my squad right now is Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan, and that squad works really well for me. I really like that. So
yeah,
and it's working for me. So
so I kind of bring that up because one of the characters that I'm best with is Majin Buu.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to play as him, but I'm just good as him.
He's a fun character to play with.
He's so silly and stuff, but I would like rather have like a cool character. But he's kind of.
I played with Majin Buu. He's good. He just
wrecks.
He's just a brick house running through and just
then you just like you can finish some matches by eating your opponent, and it's just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I was gonna say wait till you unlock 21.
I can't wait. I really want to play 21.
Yeah, she's really fun to use.
But
she has like 3 different like ultimate moves that you can use. One where it requires you like being in the air, and then like she like tracks your opponent. It's so bad.
Yeah, there's like different specials even for the characters, like based on where they are, like on the ground, in the air.
Oh yeah.
So this game.
Another thing you have to pay attention to as well is like some of their ultimates are grapples, so you have to be like right in front of your opponent. Other ones are beams, so that you can be further back. So it's just kind of like what you said. It's like even if you have a character that you really really like, if you're not, if you can't get used to their playing style and how they work, you might have to shift your attention somewhere else to something that fits more your playing style.
Right.
But still a fun game. Like I don't have I still find it fun to play with the characters that even I don't really normally play with. It's still a really really fun time and I enjoy it. So
it's a fantastic game. You guys should check it out. Like, just play it. See if someone has it. Leech off of someone.
Get it for yourself. If you don't want to pay the money for it, find someone who has it and play with them. It's an amazing game.
Just like break into your neighbor's house and just set it. Just if you know they have it, just like boot up their PS4 while they're gone on vacation and play it a bit. I mean, steal their PlayStation.
Then you get addicted to it, and then you're just gonna have to steal the PlayStation.
You're gonna have to move in with them, basically become their adopted kid.
Oh man. But
if you're like 23 or something, that might be a little bit weird.
That's a problem.
Kind of like a man-child adoption process where Dragon Ball Z
is the catalyst. Anyway, thank you again so much for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening to us.
How about let's just try just saying a few more things. Go ahead. It doesn't matter.
I don't know why the Chinese can't use forks and spoons like the rest of us. Why do they have to use sticks?
I feel like there's a really good punchline to that I'm not thinking of.
I think the punchline is just the fact that I came up with that.